Hello and good morning. Welcome to my twin flame journey. This was originally going to be for Instagram, um, but I decided to upload it to YouTube as well because I feel like there's more messages than one can type. I might actually just do a one card pull for Instagram because I'm finding that the Instagrams are supposed to be kind of quick and simple, and I give always, more detail, me. So I decided to upload this to YouTube, and I might do that from here on out. Put dailies again. I haven't done that in a few months. But, and I also, instead of having to keep referring to the little handout that I have here to read the reversals, again, since this was for Instagram originally, I did do the clarifiers. But it was afterwards that I said, you know what, let me upload it. So I wrote them down just so I don't have to flip through the pages. But it's like, well, you'll see. For the masculine, let's see what's here. We have the Horse King, about assistance and control. And then we also have the Keeper of the Scales, fairness and balance. So let us read this before I go into my spiel. The Horse King always comes to lend you the power to go the distance, forging ahead whatever the weather. You will most certainly reach your perfect destination with this noble ally. He lets you know that some person or circumstance brought through synchronicity will certainly appear to help you with your endeavors. You aren't meant to go this part of the journey alone. This is also an important time to delegate authority to others so that they may assist you. Currently, you're magnetic to powerful people who are in a position to help make your dreams come true. The Horse King asks that you remain open to those who are sent to aid you. You can be assured that you will be lifted up and will ride high in victory. And I will address this in a second. The Keeper of the Scales. The law of harmony is enacted when the Keeper of the Scales comes to you as an ally. Align with her, as the law states, making conscious choices that create balance in your life. When you do, you also magically align with the abundance of the universe and the powerful forces of synchronicity. This creates conditions and possibilities that lead to the fulfillment of your highest intentions. Harmony begins with the self and then resonates outward to others. You're in harmony with yourself when you nurture yourself with love, respect, and acceptance, always fully taking responsibility for your actions. We're going to get into this. Only then can you be in harmony with others. This is because love is a central force that connects all of life and aligns you with like-minded others. Another message is restoration and positive, fair resolution in all disputes, including those involving the legal system or other important exchanges. The Keeper of the Scales is a just and kind ally, always making sure balance is activated on your path. Now, right away, this is about accountability, which again this is like getting redundant because people are so stuck in their stuff that they even will believe their own lies, their own stories that they tell themselves, how they justify behaving in certain ways, ends justifying means, especially when in codependent situations. Now, and I'll do the clarifiers here in a second. People are keeping themselves stuck because they don't want to realize the truth about who they are, how they've been behaving, how they've treated people. Again, looking at the patterns in their life in regards to choices that they repeatedly make over and over again that always end in disaster, that always end the same. Same kind of partners, same kind of karmic cycles, failing to see The common denominator is them. Why they're stuck in their lives, why things never seem to go their way. It's because you keep being the same way no matter what circumstance is thrown at you, because again, life is continuously bringing these situations to you to bring attention to yourself. This is about you needing to recognize and accept the fact, not being in denial, not blaming other people, or thinking it's just their reaction and it's not really, your actions that's the problem. It's your actions that are the problem, because time and time and again, there's nothing but deceptive cards that come out. Lying, cheating, emotional manipulation, abusive behaviors, whatever it is, there is some deep, deep, deep wounding here that cannot be ignored anymore. This is about you needing to look at yourself. Stand and look in that mirror and look really hard and be honest with yourself about who you are, how you act, the things you do, and accept responsibility for that. Because the reason why you're in the situation that you're in now is, again, because of you. Actions that weren't well thought out, flying on the seat of your pants, jumping into things without thinking of the long-term consequences, needing to fill voids and meet needs in the moment without thinking long-term what effect that's going to have on yourself and on other people. It's about being fair in these situations. Again, people have been trying to reconcile or bring you attention to yourself. The situation's trying to bring attention to yourself. The person that you were with before, maybe the person that you're with now is doing the same thing, but somebody is refusing to see that the problem is them. And this is why their life has gone the way that it has. This is why they keep repeating the same scenarios, just with different people, because it's trying to wake you up that you cannot continue to be this way. And there are a lot of broken children in adult bodies. People don't even realize that a lot of their issues in life stem from their childhood wounding, their conditioning, what love looked like to them as children, and how their life has stemmed from childhood. And until you recognize your brokenness, you will never heal it. You will always think that it's not me, it's them. And it isn't them, it's you. Obviously. We got here Sospiri in reverse. We have Falsita. We have Il Deliriante in reverse. We have La Fidelta in reverse. And then we have Gran Signore. Now, I will read from here, but this is all talking about you just lie. You lie like a rug. You lie like you breathe. And I can tell you, a lot of these, because like I said, I'm not just a reader. I'm also in this journey with you guys. I'm dealing, or I have dealt with, a very similar situation. And my twin flame embodies a lot of the traits of someone with narcissistic personality disorder or counterdependency, which I posted the link to that in my last video, which speaks of a fear of love. And again, this stems from childhood wounding. And these people can take on narcissistic personality traits, which can be very destructive to the people that they're involved in. Again, because they fail to recognize that the problem is them, their behaviors. They can take advantage of you financially. They can be, mentally and emotionally manipulative, which is abuse. Verbally abusive, controlling, again, because they want to control their environment so that they feel safe and secure. All the while they're doing shady shit, lying, cheating, doing whatever they're doing, again, using someone else's love for them to keep the benefits coming. This is what I dealt with. And when someone with narcissistic personality disorder, they will not see the forest for the trees. They will not admit ever to their lies, to the deceptions, to whatever. They'll use deflection tactics. They'll avoid it at every turn. They'll try to make it again about your reaction to their behavior and not addressing that the problem is them. Again, will never admit to the truth. Now, there are varying degrees of narcissistic personality disorder. And if you're in a karmic situation with a karmic soulmate, yes, you can be with a full-blown narcissist, and that was your lesson, and you need to learn from that and leave that person alone. Or you could be dealing with somebody who embodies those traits. This includes twin flames, embodies those traits, but in some degree is capable of self-reflection, is capable of feeling bad, knowing right from wrong, and yet they still won't admit to stuff. They still won't see the problem as them because, again, it's instinctive, it's conditioned, it's how their brain has been wired due to how they grew up, especially if they grew up in abusive situations, because, again, we imitate what we see. So even though they may know that what I did was wrong, even though they know that what they do is hurtful to them and other people, to get them to change is like, that's why I feel maybe, and it's called a mid-range narcissist, not full-blown, but it's enough where it's hurtful to them and hurtful to the people that they're with. And until that person recognizes their issue, things will never change. Things will never change because, again, there's a big fear about taking off a mask here. And this has been a repetitive message. And some of you may very well be dealing with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder in some degree. Again, the varying degrees, it will play a big role in whether or not you'd ever eat. Regardless, there would be a constant struggle in this relationship because, again, it's people needing to control their behaviors, their instincts to lie, to do whatever, because, again, this is ingrained in this person's character because this is how they've been for so long. It's a defense mechanism that they developed in childhood to keep themselves safe, even at the cost of hurting other people. And a mid-range narcissist also believes themselves to be a good person, a kind person. Again, because they cannot, their brain is wired in such a way that they deny their bad behavior even to themselves. They try to justify it because they are capable of some degree of empathy, of feeling bad, of knowing right from wrong. But again, they will justify their actions always because the ends met the needs. If I said that right. Sorry for the siren. But maybe that's your signal, masculine. It's your wake-up call. This assistance and control and this fairness, when it's talking about people are coming to you that are coming to try to aid you to evolve into a better self, this is it. This is the universe trying to do that. This is your partner, if they are aware of certain aspects of you that need to be healed. This is for you to stop being in denial and to accept this constructive criticism as a guide and a tool to help you to change your ways. This is not people trying to come at you. This is the universe and people who love you that are trying to show you that you are the problem. And I don't mean to come across like, but this is like, denial isn't just a river in Egypt. And we can fool ourselves all we want. But at some point, either it's going to be when you hit complete rock bottom, that maybe you'll get that wake-up call. But this is kind of like the warning to keep you from getting to that place if you haven't gotten there already. Don't shut down the advice from outside people and from the universe and the cards or whatever when they're trying to direct you into a healing direction, into a positive direction. It's like screaming at you to see that there is something in you that needs to be addressed. And if you've got some kind of cluster B personality type, if you've got some kind of childhood wounding, you need to start going to therapy. You need to start recognizing and healing that so that you stop self-sabotaging yourself and your relationships. So you stop hurting yourself and other people. Because all this lying, all this cheating, all this, it's got to go. It's got to go because it's keeping you in hell. Because obviously anyone who is living their life this way is not a happy person. They may pretend that they are, because they are all about wearing that mask, putting on a show. But the truth of the matter is no one could ever be happy in this. And you can't always say it's other people. Because how many times are you going to say, blame other people? Oh, they're just overreacting. Oh, what I did wasn't that bad. It's like, no, it was. If constant deceptive cards are coming out, the problem is you, my dear. It's not anybody else but you. And the universe is trying so hard, and people who love you are trying so hard to get you to see that, but you have to see that. You have to be honest with yourself in order to bring fairness and balance within yourself, fairness in your relationships. It's the need to check oneself and our behaviors and our tendencies. Like I said, it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction. They're perfectly aware that they're lying. They're perfectly aware that they're cheating. They're perfectly aware that they're getting involved in relationships just so they can have needs met or to fill that void of being afraid to be alone. So they got to always have somebody there loving on them, doting on them, making them feel, because they didn't get that as a kid. So that's what they enter into these relationships, but they eventually get bored and they start cheating and looking elsewhere, or they just enter into it again for financial reasons because they've struggled their whole life to either hold on to jobs or to have some direction or to whatever, because again, it's something that's within them that is broken. It comes from low self-esteem, not feeling loved, not feeling good enough. Again, it's looking for something constantly outside of ourselves to feed those wounds. And until you recognize the wounds, you can never heal them. You'll always lay blame on outside things, and you'll end up alone. You'll end up losing relationships because, again, nobody wants to deal with somebody who's a liar, because you're somebody that can't be trusted. And if you're wondering why people aren't welcoming you back into the fold, it's because you haven't shown them that you can stop lying, that you can hold yourself accountable. You're continuing to be in denial because you don't even want to face yourself. And this is why we keep running, the runner and the chaser. There's always someone that keeps running because they're not only running from true love, or running from their twin flame because the twin flame or the soulmate is holding up the mirror, showing them this is what needs to be healed. And they're doing the same thing for the other person because obviously they come together to trigger those things within themselves that need to be healed. But eventually one person wakes up, and the person who's woken up has been trying to get this person to wake up. But again, people have to come into that on their own. But you're going to have to really start looking at, people that care about you want the best for you, but you have to want the best for you. Now so Spirity, unstable situation, ups and downs, explanation, clarification. So needing to explain one's deceptions. This is falseness, lies, betrayal, hypocrisy, hidden intentions. This is also about insecurity, illusions. Again, living in our own delusions, making it seem like we're not that bad of a person when the truth is maybe we are. If you're lying and deceiving and enter into relationships just so someone can, keep you company and pay your way, that's deceptive. That's taking advantage of somebody else's love for you because you lack the self-love for yourself to get yourself together and make your own mark in the world. It's a codependency. And codependency stems from childhood wounding. And because if you think about it, if it was just a matter of, financially being a little not doing so great, you can get you don't have to enter a relationship. You can get a roommate. If you can't have your own apartment, you can get a roommate, but a roommate isn't going to pay your part of the bills when you can't. A roommate isn't going to cook for you and clean for you. A roommate isn't going to dote on you and give you whatever. So you're also looking to have some kind of emotional need met because you don't feel good about yourself. You don't feel whatever it is. Like I said, this is all psychology, and this is the wake up call for the masculine, big time. Il Deliriante talks about regression, demotion, relapse. It's like you keep going back to your same behavior patterns. You keep keeping yourself stuck. La Fidelta talks about infidelity, insecurity, a lack of trust, tainted love. Yes, there's a lack of trust because you're a known liar and you haven't been able to come clean with yourself, with the people you're involved in. It's like you live a life of deception, which is what we have here. Someone is wearing a false self mask. This was for you both. And then we have attraction. This is about, someone is hiding their feelings. And because, again, out of the fear of love, that counterdependency, so they embody a lot of narcissistic traits, again, from childhood wounding, from trying to protect themselves. But they push away, or they're pushing away, true love, their soulmate, their twin flame, because it scares them. How they feel scares them. They're trying to hold on to that same karmic cycle the same way because that's all they've known. It's how they've protected themselves. Perhaps, again, entering into relationships where they didn't have to give 100% because they weren't feeling 100%. It was just okay. Or the person's company was okay and my needs are being met, so it'll do for now. Like entering into things for those reasons. It's like that's not what you're supposed to enter relationships for. You're supposed to enter into it for love, and you're supposed to be an equal contributor in that relationship, financially, emotionally, whatever it is. It's about balance, and it's about learning how to be present in relationships, and that comes from, again, loving oneself first. Because if you're constantly looking for something outside of yourself to make you feel good, to validate you, to keep you feeling safe or whatever, you're a wounded child in a grown-up's body. And there is something, again, within you that you need to address. And then we have the Gran Signore. This is about somebody who's 45 years old or older. This is somebody who's confident in the upright. It's like, in order for you to come into your own, you got to cut this stuff out. You got to cut this stuff out. And you got to wake up. The problem is you. And if you don't address it, you're going to keep on in the same stuff. And I know that you're probably tired of it because you can't be happy like that. You can't be happy if you constantly lose in relationships. You can't be happy if you can't be with the person that you love because you're too afraid to admit to all your lies and stuff, because that would mean you'd have to take off your mask and admit that you can be wrong, that you can be deceptive, that you do certain things that aren't, for your highest and best, or the people that, it's about accountability. And people that suffer from any kind of cluster B or narcissism or anything like that, they have a really hard time with accountability. It's like they will refuse it at all costs. Again, trying to shift the blame on something else because they don't want to admit to the stuff that they do and how they are and how they treat people. Especially if they are capable of some kind of empathy, knowing right and wrong, which some people who suffer and the varying degrees of narcissism are capable of that, which is probably, again, that's why I said this is probably what you're dealing with, because this internal struggle has been happening for months and months and months and months and months, where people are still holding on to that way of being, even though it's not good for them. It's a need to release control of that. You're keeping yourself stuck. You're keeping yourself from true love, from true happiness, from healing, to get out of this. Like, this is a heavy cross to bear for this person. And they were given this challenge in this life. Look at it this way. You were given this challenge in this life because you asked for it. And if you are to overcome it, you score big points spiritually. It helps with your ascension. Like, this is, but you don't remember none of that when you come here. You got to understand, if you took on this challenge before you incarnated here, it's time for you to get it together, to heal yourself so that you can be happy, so that you can have a good career, so you can have a happy home life, so you can heal yourself. Like, this is about you, honey. It's big time, big time. This is why I did a video for this, because it's just not, it would be too much for just Instagram. And they're telling you to flirt. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So this is for you to stop fighting how you feel. Stop being so fearful of going towards true love, if that means that you have to own up to yourself, because it's only going to do you good in the end. Finances and career. They want you to get it together. Heart-to-heart conversations. Open up. Stop living a life of lies. It's got to go. I don't know what else I can say. It's like, I say the same thing every week, every month. It's like this dilemma that just never gets resolved, because this person has got some serious wounding and they can't even see it. Because again, unless you're watching these readings, or unless you know about psychology, again, most people go through their life never realizing how they feel about themselves, why life has gone the way it's gone, why do these relationships all end up being like the same, ending the same way, and it's because of you. It's not life giving you shit. It's not people always else to blame. It's you. You need to heal. And until you do, you will constantly be repeating. And for the feminine, we have the Dragon's Duel, Inner Conflict, Conscious Choice, and the Wise Woman of Wonderland in reverse, Integrity and Compromise. You know, this is speaking of, again, the feminine doesn't know what the hell to do in this situation, because she probably knows the truth. She knows you got issues. She knows whatever, and she's trying to get you to see it, but you're refusing it because, again, you want to hold on to that idea of, it ain't me, it's them. Or there's nothing wrong with me, when there is. If you're constantly lying and cheating and sneaking and being deceptive and being financially moochy, or whatever it is that you're doing nothing with your life, you're just floundering, coasting. The problem is you. Stop blaming other people. We have, I'll read from here. I says, and I'm not trying to get on, but it's like, I feel this. It's like, how many more ways can it be said? But again, unless you're watching these readings, you don't know. So this person is just sitting there in their thoughts and in their whatever, clueless. Because again, they're not even thinking of it from a childhood wounding standpoint, a psychological, like there must be something psychologically a little bit cracked in me that needs to be addressed. They're not even aware. That's why this situation never changes. Maybe they need to start watching some readings, because they're obviously not getting it. And I feel bad, you know, I definitely feel bad. I can empathize, but I also empathize with this side situation of being frustrated, of knowing that they deserve to be treated in a certain way, and not wavering now in their newfound growth and self-respect because they care for this person. They're holding their own. They're still refusing to just let this person come back in without actually discussing what happened, because that's giving this person, again, an easy way back without having to hold themselves accountable. And this is their lesson. And if you do that, you're stunting their growth. So I'm proud of all the feminines that are holding their ground, even though it's painful. Because again, when you love someone, when you care about someone, you want them to heal. You want them to heal, but they have to want it for themselves. And you're not going to let this person come back in and wreak havoc in your life because they haven't healed themselves, because that would be unwise. So this is a very tough situation. That's why you have the Dragon's Duel here, inner conflict. The Dragon's Duel takes place at the proverbial fork in the road. It's both ally and challenger at once, as it represents the tension of opposites. Even though the truth is that we live in unity, we experience the duality of faith and doubt, love and fear, right and wrong, black and white. This aspect of your current experience asks you to accept that although you may be going one way, another may be calling you to change direction. Now is the time to inquire whether it's your ego or your soul leading you. There are always choices in life. Decision making also solves inner conflict. If you're torn between two dragons, the one you choose to feed will be the one that wins. Which is it? If it's not the one that serves the highest of your intentions, deliberately feed the other, and the duel will be won in your favor. Obviously, this is speaking on, don't sit around and wait for this person. You could be waiting 20, 30 years or to the day you die. It has to come from them. So choose what is in your highest and best. If you're not happy waiting around, don't wait, which you shouldn't be waiting anyway. But don't compromise, again, your newfound self-respect, the value, your integrity, your morals, whatever it is, again, to stay in a situation that is only karmic. Until this person heals himself, it'll always be karmic. And then the Wise Woman of Wonderland in reverse. When the Wise Woman of Wonderland appears as a challenger, this is a sign that you may have compromised yourself out of fear. Have you been in denial about the truth of your situation? Have you sold yourself short rather than ask what you really need? Have you given up your dream for another because you fear abandonment? The Wise Woman of Wonderland is gently reminding you that you count. Claim your good and never settle for less. Be fearless and make it so. Why hang around for more disappointment when wonderful adventures and opportunities are waiting to unfold for you? This is like what I said. If this person can't get it together, you have to heal yourself. You have to let it go. Because it's only going to keep you stuck. This feeling torn, this whatever, not wanting to fully let go of this person because you can understand what's going on with them. But again, it's painful. It's painful to be with them. And it's painful to be in this limbo state, waiting for them to wake up. Because again, they may never wake up. They may never wake up. So it's finding peace within yourself, regardless. And then to clarify these, we had Dottore, which is about healing. We have Bambino in the reverse. We have Lamante, the male lover, in reverse. We have Il Ladro, which is the thief, in reverse. And then we have La Superbia. So this is obviously about, wanting to heal the situation. But there is fear here because you know that this person can't be trusted. This person lies. This person cheats. This person doesn't hold themselves accountable. It's like, again, the head or heart choice. Bambino reverse is a lack of growth, uncertainty, hesitation, indecision, because there's a lack of development. Things are too slow moving. Again, we don't have to. That's an understatement. As we've been watching in these readings week after week, slow moving. This is like beyond snail's pace. That's because again, people are refusing to look at themselves and hold themselves accountable and be willing to heal and change their ways. They want to just sit in their karma. They just want to blame everything else, blame other people's reactions, just to try to justify their deceptive ways because I got to survive or I got to whatever. It's like, no, you don't. You can get a regular job. You can get a guy roommate. You can stop entering into relationships with women, or if it's whatever guys your same sex, whatever it is, stop entering into that, because you're also looking to have emotional needs met. It's need to look at oneself and be honest. Stand in front of the mirror. Stare at yourself for about 10 minutes. And I bet you'll start to feel a certain kind of way. Lamonte in reverse is about unfaithful, being an unfaithful lover, a troubled person. Could be, again, mental troubles, being psychological troubles, stemming from childhood wounding, counterdependency, some kind of cluster B, some kind of form of narcissistic personality. It's about someone who's lazy, immature, someone who's a player. Again, lazy meaning we're in our comfort zone because we're not feeling lonely because we got somebody next to us, and we got our financial needs being met. Someone else is paying the rent, someone else is supplying us with whatever. So we're just kind of sitting in the comfort zone, but nothing's growing because there's no fire under our ass to get it. There was a fire under your ass to get into that relationship, to find another situation for yourself where you were getting what you were getting from here. But now then when you were in it, you were just, again, coasting until eventually you'll start to feel that like you got to move, you got to get it. Because again, eventually you get bored because it's not about love. It was just about needs. And Eladro in reverse is a problematic financial situation. So again, this person knows that you got financial issues. This person knows that you're codependent. This person knows that you're not faithful. This person knows that you lie. The person sees that nothing is moving forward because, again, you're not willing to look at yourself, admit to things, to get this situation going, to get yourself out of codependent situation, to heal yourself. It's like, and they fear dealing with this. And who can blame them? Who can blame them? Because you don't want to keep setting yourself up for somebody who is refusing to love themselves. And a person who refuses to love themselves and to heal themselves cannot possibly love you, because they'll always be entering into situations from a wounded place, a needy place. And that's not healthy for anybody. And they're trying to tell you, let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. Healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Again, this is about childhood wounding. This is about recognizing our own stuff. Trying to let go of control, meaning don't sit around and wait for this person. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Move towards another relationship if need be. That's going to give you what you deserve. And stop trying to hold on or to change somebody or to get them to see the light. Because if you've been trying and nothing's been happening, eventually you got to cut your losses. You got to just say, you know what, good luck. What can you do? Good luck. I love you from afar. Well, what cracks me up is they say this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. And playfulness to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Now, maybe you've met someone else, and this person could be the one, a better situation than this. So be light and whatever, and let go of this situation and heal yourself, because obviously you're dealing with somebody who is, I'm going to say a lost cause, because I don't want to, but some people are. You got to be honest. Or, depending on what you're dealing with, the advice is still the same. Keep it moving. Keep focusing on yourself. Stop trying to change them, whatever. This could very well be the one. This could be your twin flame. This could be your soulmate that's going to be your life partner. But again, don't keep yourself stuck. Don't keep yourself stuck. Because until this person gets it, I don't know. It's like, send them to the readings. Maybe they need to see the readings. But again, we're dealing with the situation, and I know from my own personal thing, this is exactly what I've been dealing with. Mine definitely suffers from some narcissistic personality disorder. Mid-range narcissist is capable of empathy, is capable of knowing right from wrong, but yet will hold on to his ways to the death. Because again, it's about control and wanting to protect oneself, not wanting to admit to our behaviors as being hurtful to other people, because it's like it would make them feel crushed. Like, God, I'm an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, it's just this the wanting to protect themselves, even telling themselves these lies that they're, you know, I'm a good person. I'm whatever, because yeah, in some ways they are. I mean, someone isn't completely evil all the time, but you got some problems. You got some issues. You got some stuff that needs you can't deny that some stuff is jacked up. Some of your behaviors is wrong. The lying gotta go, because you're lying to yourself. It's like you've been lying so much that you believe your own lies, because it protects you from facing the music about yourself. And this is what needs to be done for the masculine. And for the feminine, understand that this person is dealing with one heavy cross. This is their karma. This is what they came in this life to. This is the big lesson that they came to learn. And you can pray for them and hope that they learn it. But heal thyself. Move towards happiness. Don't keep yourself stuck. And on that note, I send you love and light. I wish you healing and luck in regards to this and anything else you might be going through. If you'd like a personal reading, on the information is below. I'm going to be uploading the different signs this week for April, so look for that. And again, I'm never coming at people, but this is like, you know, how many more ways can you say it? How many more ways can you say it? You got to get it, masculine. You got to get it for your own sake, because you'll end up having to reincarnate here and do the same thing all over again. And I'm sure you don't want that, because I'm sure it's been quite the miserable life. And it's time for you to love yourself enough to address you once and for all. Stop being in denial about the way you maneuver in life, because the way you've been maneuvering has been hurtful to other people, and it's been hurtful to yourself. Love yourself enough to give a shit to change. I don't know what else I can say. That's all I can say, I guess. So, as you can see, this is why I did a video, because Instagram, I would have been typing for days. So, I'm glad I did it. Maybe it'll help somebody. Again, I send you love and light, and I hope you get it, masculine. I really, really do. I hope my masculine gets it, because we hate to see people suffer because of themselves. Take care. Bye-bye.